Hi, everyone. I'm Krista Wyatt, CEO of Timebanks.org, and I couldn't be more excited to welcome you. It's truly an honor to work alongside so many amazing time bank organizations as we build stronger connections, uplift communities, and celebrate the incredible power of reciprocity. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey and for all the amazing work you do to grow time banking around the world. This year, I'm thrilled to celebrate our 7th annual International Time Banking Day with all of you, a special occasion to share the incredible stories and achievements of time banking communities around the world. It's a moment to honor the values that bring us together: reciprocity, respect, redefining work, and mutual support. This year holds even greater meaning as timebanks.org proudly celebrates its 30th anniversary. For the past 3 decades, we've worked alongside amazing communities to build stronger connections, empower individuals, and create networks of resilience and trust. I am especially proud to have worked alongside with Dr. Edgar Kahn, whose vision and dedication have been integral to shaping the time banking movement and creating opportunities for communities worldwide. I also want to take a moment to shine a light on our incredible board members. Their unwavering dedication, time, and inspiration have been instrumental in guiding us forward and helping us shape the future of timebanks.org and the time banking movement as a whole. As we reflect on these milestones, I'm filled with hope for the road ahead. While we celebrate our past accomplishments, we also acknowledge the work still to be done and the collective effort needed to ensure sustainability of time banking in an ever-changing world. Together, we are strengthening this powerful movement one step at a time. So let's use this day to celebrate, inspire, and energize one another as we continue building a brighter, more connected future. Thank you for being part of this extraordinary journey. And I'd like to introduce our next guest speaker, Kathy.
Thank you, Krista. I'd like to welcome everyone today. This is really a super special day because it's Edgar's, it is Edgar's birthday. And we are celebrating 30 years. I myself am celebrating 25 years in the time banking world. And uh, it's been a beautiful journey. I've seen so many changes in my 25 years with time banking, and I think it's when you look back at how it began and how things started. I remember when I first became part of time banking, I heard stories about the Grace Hill settlement in St. Louis. And for them to do time banking, they put signs in windows of what their offers and their needs were. And then when I came into time banking, we had paper, little index cards of time credits that we would hand out with people. That then changed to getting post-its at, gatherings, and to now to software. I mean, in 30 years, it has grown that much. And I just couldn't be happier to be part of this. We had national conferences where strangers became friends and long-lasting relationships. A lot of you who were on this call today, I met at a conference. So I am so grateful for all the things that time banking has brought into my life. Then COVID came and things really changed. We went from social media came in, Zoom, which, here we are today. I mean, this is fabulous. Transactions became more about the software and tracking and things like that. My journey with time banking started in 2015 on a different level. I retired and I was asked to be part of the board of, back then, I guess it was Time Banks USA. And I was thrilled to be part of an organization where I could build and grow and make it even better than what I had experienced. Seeing the need that happened, knowing what a coordinator needed, that was my job. But knowing what a coordinator's needs were, I think helped me as a board member to really strengthen and we grew as a board. We realized we needed an executive director. Thank you, Krista, for filling that role. And then when Edgar's health started to decline, I actually had a lot more time on my hands, and I offered to take on some things for him. And with Edgar's blessing, I was able to step into not quite his shoes, just a little teeny, maybe the toe of the shoe, and kind of figure out where do we need to go with time banking. It's growing all over the world, as we can see today. And I think the most beautiful part of it is being part of this transition that we're going through as an organization. And I am so thankful for people like Krista, Chris Gray, Mike Strode for really stepping up to the plate.
Kathy, actually, speaking of Chris, if we can hand it over to her now, as we are at
Yes, I
6 minutes.
was just going to say I'd like to hand it over to Chris now. So thank you all for being here today.
Good morning, everybody, except it's afternoon for some people. So we're in different time zones around the world. It is so lovely to see you all. It's very exciting, familiar faces, new faces. I'm Chris Gray. My role started with time banking, started in 1999 when I met Edgar and joined with him. And he said, "You marry me, Chris, you marry time banking," and never a truer word. I did marry time banking. And so you're all my partners now. And in this 30th year, which is the 25th for me, as it is for you, actually 26th for me, Kathy, it's a good time for us to be reflecting on the past and also on the future. I'm looking at faces, especially Marshy. I think, Marshy, you may be the longest standing coordinator here because you started, I think, in 1995 or 6, but way back.
87.
87. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. It goes so far back. And so, as Kathy was saying, we are an international movement. Now I'm looking at Haran. I can't see all the faces because I've just got a little stream in the bottom of my feed here. But we are all around the world now. I think we're in every continent. Yay, that's so exciting. And the challenge that we have as a movement, honestly, is bringing young people into this movement. There is so much interest in time banking by young people. And as they come into it, they find, as most of us have found, that it's not easy to insert a different way of thinking and being into the world that is oriented around money, of traditional money. And we're offering something different. And we're offering change. And change of that nature, of that deep nature, is not easy to pull off. And hats off to every one of you here who has made that happen, because this is a growing movement. It's an exciting movement. I do something called Chat on a Bench every once a month at the last Sunday of the month, where we talk together about things that are happening in the time banking world. And I'd love to have you join if you can, if the time works for you. And we talk about all the things, the challenges, the exciting things, and the wonderful things that happen with time bank.
Sorry, Chris, I just gotta interrupt you there. We are at time,
Great.
but Chat on the Bench is a lovely little get together, and I encourage everybody who wants to learn more to come hang out afterwards and learn a little bit more about it. Next up, we have sorry, we have, let me consult my list here. Mashi, if you could please tell us about Health First Time Banks. I know you just had an introduction a moment ago, so please take it away.
Well, don't start my time till Krista brings up this. You have the slides, Krista?
You got it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Del-
I'm muted.
I
Sorry,
will
go ahead.
I'm delighted to be here with all of you today. I really see myself as one very lucky lady As Chris said, I've been a time banker here in New York for 37 years. Okay, I was 2 when I started. You have to either be crazy, very persistent, very passionate, probably all of the above. During the 37 years, the Time Bank has had 4 different homes, all in very large health systems. We're currently part of a foundation sponsored by Health First, the largest not-for-profit health insurer in New York State. They have over 2 million members. I'm particularly proud of our commitment to be inclusive and reach people with little disposable income. Krista, are you able to? Okay, there we go. The second slide, please. I know this is a lot of data and I'll just summarize it. We have over 3,000 individual members and dozens of organizational members. We definitely skew towards lower income. Almost 80% of our members earn below 25,000 a year. That's dollars, of course. But to live here in an expensive city like New York with that little income is challenging. We do have members of all ages. In the past, the youngest member was 5. She recited Chinese poetry. She was great. But currently, we do skew older. Our members have more time and are very active. 72% of our members are over the age of 60, and our members speak 46 languages. Less than half are fluent in English. 50% are Asian. That was not always the case. And the leaders in the Asian community were very skeptical that this time bank thing would actually be a good fit culturally, but this is our fastest growing part of our membership. They are bringing their friends, their families, their neighbors. We don't have to be out there recruiting. 75% were born in another country other than the US, and almost 30% live alone. Next slide, please. This is good. I know this is a slide you can't read, but it's actually a good thing. This is the slide of our engagement, our activities for this month, March. Our mission is to address social isolation and loneliness, which has been declared a public health epidemic. And we do this by bringing members together in classes, groups, activities that are led by members. And these are virtual since COVID, as well as face-to-face. And our members lead over 100, as you can see, over 100 activities each month. Most of our large-scale activities are held in English, Spanish, Cantonese, and Mandarin. Not an easy task. Next slide, please. I never want to give a little talk about our
Actually,
time
sorry,
bank.
Mashi, if I can get you to skip to how people can learn more about it, we're over time, I'm afraid. We're gonna have to save the rest for the open forum.
Okay, I put it in the chat. You can email me at mbleck@healthfirst.org.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so next up, we've got another presentation. Harrian and Inyuk Song are presenting together, I believe. If Krista, if we can queue up the next one. I apologize for cutting you off, Mashi. That is my I'm the bad guy today. It was a lovely presentation, and we're very grateful for the work you do.
No problem.
I've got to be that meanie.
Okay, so can I start?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm from Seoul, Korea. Well, I have been engaged in time banking since 2004. But I was so lucky to know Chris Gray and Edgar Khan from that time onwards, and have other time banking friends in like Sarah and Meshi, Krista, and Kathy, everyone here. Well, speaking shortly to the point, what I'm going to tell you today is our meeting with time banking people in Japan and in China that took place end of last year and this year, this month actually. Do you see the slides?
We can see the slides. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Well, first, end of last year, December 2024, we visited, actually joined the China Association of Gerontology and Geriatrics Forum that was held in Beijing, China. And the venue was the Institute of Population Research, Peking University. And this institute has actually produced a lot of researches and studies on time banking in China. This was the forum photo or the participants of the forum. All these students, graduate school students, researchers of universities across the nation. And this man is the director of the institute. He is kind of a pioneer researcher, scholars in China focusing on time banking. And he contributed a lot to spread time banking across the nation. And well, I was actually invited as a keynote speaker, and my presentation was time banking practices in Korea, as well as a comparison of time banking practices in 4 different countries in Asia. And then we actually contacted Nippon Active Life Club, which is the not the only, but most best known time banking organization in Japan. This organization is based in Osaka, Japan, and they call their time banking as time deposit system. And we had a meeting there with 4 staff members. Well, this is the 4 staff members of NALC, and 1 man joined online by Zoom. So we had a meeting, and through this meeting, what we learned is actually why we did this, why we visited, why we well, we were to China, we were invited, but to Japan, we visited them ourselves. And why we did this is because we wanted to run the Asia Time Banking Network properly and more meaningfully. So we tried to actually at least 3 countries, Korea, China, and Japan, we 3 of us need to meet together first, and then we can well, expand the circle of network bigger and bigger. So that's why we try to meet them. And what we learned is like the 3 of lessons we had. Aging population is a challenging opportunity to time banking in Asian countries. And interest in learning from each other was so high. And well, once again, we thought that connecting the assets of the vulnerable people first to the community is the key to keep time banking alive. To learn how different countries are doing this, we thought we have to meet more often. So, well, after the meetings, we are working hard now to raise funds in order to meet them again in Seoul this year. So this is my story. And Krista, are you ready to play? Okay. So there's another story out of our time bank that we run in Seoul, which is called the Time Bank House Time Bank. Well, please listen to the story from a young man in his 20s. Okay, thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is In Kyung Song, and my English name is Isaac. I got autism disease and I felt so hard to communicate with others. Sometimes I got many adversity to communicate with others, and I also felt angry and sad. But now I'm volunteering as the first step of Timebank Korea, and I started Timebank activities 3.5 years ago, and these activities changed my life to positive ways. Now I'll talk about how I started my time banking activities. My mother is the professor who teaches about social and caregiving. One day, the CEO of Time Banks Korea, Mr. Son, listened to my mother's special lecture and wanted to visit her office. My mother thought time banking would be good and fun to me, so she took me to her office and we met there first. When Mr. Son said, when someone helps another person, then this helper can get service using the time spent on helping others like money. And each person's 1 hour is equal. It was interesting and inspiring, so I decided to join Time Banks Korea. I started to spend so many hours to help each other, and I learned one important thing, that is, there are so many ways to help others. So I noticed that I have capacities to help people. I played Lego and plastic model toys with a young boy who had to stay home alone because of having epilepsy, and I joined kimchi making and then delivered to home alone seniors. I joined street cleaning activities and I helped young people with disability to play soccer. I worked accompanying blind people with other volunteers. Then I got many positive changes in my life. To go to play with epileptic boy, there was so long distance, so it helped my diet very naturally. And my social connection developed much bigger than before I started time banking. Sometimes I felt hard to play soccer with other youth people and communicate with their parents, and I felt hard to help English study for elementary school students. Before I started time banking, I felt very useless myself and have negative thinkings myself. But these activities and challenges made me feel very useful, happy, and develop my health too. Of course, I still need to develop myself, and sometimes I feel hard to communicate with others. But my journey of challenge is still progressing now.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing that. Now, we're going to hand it over to Sarah Bird for the next presentation, but thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank
Sarah?
you. Hi. Yeah, that was amazing. Isaac, what a great guy. Lovely. Love that. Hi everybody. Yeah, I'm Sarah. I'm the Chief Exec of Time Banking UK. It's a pleasure to be here today and to see so many faces from around the world. I just wanted to give a couple of minutes, giving a little bit of an update about what we're doing, what's happening in the UK, and totally appreciate I've only got a couple of minutes, so I'll try not to talk too quickly. So during the last year, we have welcomed all kinds of new time banks to the UK, and we still have some of the more unusual time banks, like those based in prisons. And these prison time banks sparked an interest from a department in our National Health Service, which was relatively recently, who have now asked to work with us because they would like to pilot an idea of time banking for people in secure mental health units. They felt that the way in which time banking can show people their own self-worth and value their contribution by helping others is an ideal way to help with their recovery from mental illness. But we are still finding, despite having this amazing interest in these unusual time banks, that the funding climate is still really, really challenging here. And we strive to get our voices heard in central government. And we have had support from several MPs who have been introduced to time banking through their own local time banks and their time bank members. And they have then written to other ministers in government explaining the benefits of time banking. And so this has been a bit of a ripple effect. We've had new avenues of support, and they all want to raise the profile of time banking across the country. But I'm feeling that the biggest challenge that we still have is a way to turn all this verbal support into financial support. And I'm also seeing the confusion between time banking and volunteering. So we need to keep on explaining that it is slightly different to volunteering and how that works to be set aside and stand out from the crowd. But going back to raising funds, we feel that if we can offer startup funds to new time banks, we could see a huge explosion of growth. And we think that the key to this could be the corporate world. And Rebecca, she can't be with us today, but she works for us and helps us to link with that corporate world and has been trying really hard to get these giant companies to understand and see the benefit of time banking, not just for communities, but for themselves too, to be recognized as a supporter and a sponsor for the development of community time banks. And later on in the event, you will hear a very short recording that Rebecca had put together with some information about a new idea that we've got for a global time banking initiative. And this is to create a disaster and crisis response toolkit so that time banks everywhere in the world could be prepared for when challenges occur, whether that's because of climate change or economic failure. But we wanted to help them provide a clear way and a path to mobilize people in communities using time banking and how to stay resilient after that crisis has passed. And if there is no existing time bank in the community, let's make it really easy for them to create one in order to do this. So when you hear this short clip in a few moments' time, and you feel like you might like to join us in exploring where we go from here about collaboratively creating a sponsorship package for international funding, please do let us know. You can email Rebecca or myself, sarah@timebanking.org or rebecca@timebanking.org, and we'd love to hear from you. I'll stop there because this is a really exciting event and we want to pass over to the next speakers. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Sarah. If you don't mind popping those emails in the chat, if you haven't already, I think that is a wonderful idea. I love the sound of that. The time banks crisis response. That's very needed in these times. Oh my. So next up we have the social credits, 1,000 days of social credits presentation. I don't have a name attached to that. So if you could please make yourself known. Oh, there we go.
Hi, I'm Jahan.
And I'm Ridwan.
And we're here representing Social Credits today. We're the Indian Kitty Time Bank. And Mike, I think you can go ahead and start our timer. So today we'll be presenting 1,000 days of goodwill. We've been up and running for 1,000 days now, and we're here to share what we've been through. So we started all of this with an Excel sheet and like 20 volunteers. The main way that we scaled was age-appropriate social giving, which is where, as you'll see today, children of all ages got programs that were catered to their interests and their age groups. We used hub and spoke models, and we created social calendars for people to, plan out their social giving throughout the year. And what we do is we then take these social giving projects and we clock them in as time banking hours. This really helps for kids' college. And, as you can see here, we won the Globally Good award last year. And I also got the opportunity to be a youth ambassador for the UK Time Bank. And while I am incredibly honored by that, I'd like to share a few of our youth ambassadors who've helped us get this far.
So none of this would be possible without our kid coordinators. So we'd like to introduce all of them and their projects one by one.
My name is Raga. I started a notebook program where I take old and recycled paper and reuse it to make new notebooks. I've made about 1,000 till now. I also have another project called Play Bold, where I hold sports days for orphan kids and underprivileged kids, teaching them the meaning of fitness and sports.
Hello, my name is Dia, and I started a project called Sip and Snack along with my friend, and it's where we sell snacks in our community and raise money for a project called Million Meals. And so far, we've raised money for about 50,000 meals. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ayana, and my sister took up the program of Joy of Giving, where she had a fundraiser called the Swimathon in our school, where people donated $1.2 for every 25 meters that they swam. She inspired over 100 students to swim, and they raised about $4,000. Thank you.
I'm Darnita. Trash Mafia has an aim to recycle 100 tons of waste to prevent the landfill. So far, we have done 20 tons, including 15,000 items of clothes, 8,000 library books, and 8 tons of dry waste upcycled across many communities. Trash Mafia is spreading quickly among schools. Hi, I'm Anisha. I'm Raj. We visited a girls' orphanage every month for 2 years. And we provide more than just essentials, we make memories. This year, we've built a roof over their heads and provided them with water filter and many more. We also plan to build a library for children recovering from cancer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tarini, and I started a project called Picture Me. It's where we take photos of children so that they have a childhood memory of themselves. Till now, we've taken 2,600 photos, and recently we went to Catholic Club and took around 500 photos.
I'm Anushka and this is Abhay. I ran the Freedom Run program where people volunteered to run and we raised money per lap. And I also ran the Bangalore Water Savers program where we reduce water consumption within our community during the Bangalore water crisis. We have also conducted many stalls in our communities to raise money for different charities.
Hi, I'm Nia. I sold a book which spread awareness about genetic disorders and raised money for a child with a genetic disorder. And so far, we've raised over 30,000 rupees.
Hi, my name is Mayank Mundra. I've started a project called Social Labs where we make kits for science kits for kids. In our first pitch, we raised upwards of 1 lakh, 100,000 rupees. And we've made upwards of 100 kits and taught more than 10 schools around the city. We're hoping to expand this project in the next few months. And finally, we've raised a lot of money for Snehagram, which is a HIV positive center near close to Bangalore. We've raised over 16 lakhs. We've held marathons and just held fundraisers in general. So yeah.
So as you guys can see, I mean, I know it is a bit of a speed run, but you can see kids of all different age groups, all different heights and, interests. And, together, that's how we form such a big community. It's with our different projects. And we'd all just like to say, thank you.
Wow. I'm tearing up a little bit over here. That was amazing.
My name is Precious Inyambawaz.
Oh, was there something else starting to play?
That was our next video. I'm sorry.
I see. No worries. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's move on to that next video. But everybody over there at 1000 Days of Social Creds, thank you so much for what you're doing. All right, next video.
The next video is by Bruno. Bruno, did you want to say something before we start the video?
Thank you very much. I just have to say that I'm happy to see everyone here and to attend this. Thank you very much.
I am a youth leader for bringing web and mobile technology to KYTI. I also represent us at public events, conferences, and I work with members on photo voice projects for community improvement. This year, we are making a website and mobile app. We have a web forum with categories for our projects. Also, a resource visual showing data on youth connections. These charts will give ideas for our photo voice stories. Members can see the charts similar to this example. Youth charts have clues to our stories and strength. Charts remind members of their growth and importance to community. We are proud to be part of KYTI, the youth, adults, girls and boys, cross ages, respect each other and work together on our projects. I want to support other youth to build their connections and story charts.
My name is Bruno Chigundu. I'm the head of Bright Parents School in Sowera, Uganda. 2 years ago, I learned about Edgar Khan and co-production and the time banking movement. Youth are applying the 5 core values of time banking. They are building a bigger community. Their confidence and communication skills are stronger. KYTI now has a full NGO status with a working permit. We have acquired a property to enable us to grow and develop KYTI. These are the founding members, and this is the copy of our NGO registration. Our vision is a youth development center. Youth learn about time banking and co-production, gain 21st century skills, sport development, and community improvement. Happy International Time Banking Day.
Well, Bruno, thank you very much for that. And congratulations to your success. That's wonderful.
Welcome.
All right. So let's move on then. We've got the Kasubi Youth Time Bank Initiative. Oh, nope, sorry, that I'm reading the same one. So we've got Ryan coming up next. Video, Give a Hand Uganda, GAHU. If we could get that one loaded up. A lot of wonderful stories coming out from all over the world. I'm very grateful to be here.
My name is Lusaka Ryan, age 22 years. I live in Nabuti, a small village in Mukono, Uganda. I am a self-taught artist and a sculptor. I learned industrial welding through hands-on training. When I heard of youth time banking, I loved the idea and message in it. I asked myself, how can I help my fellow youth in following the same concept? I had an idea to start a time bank called Give a Hand Uganda. I want to thank YTB for the opportunity to become a YTB leader in my community. I want to share this chance with youth in my community. I decided to start a program of teaching them skills like art and welding. We made good progress with the support of YTB. They provided safety tools like gloves, overalls, and safety helmets. YTB also helped us get machines we needed: welding machine, grinder, and a compressor. These machines really helped the youth that I was teaching. They learned new skills, and I managed to stay strong since I knew that I'm not alone. Now we are sharing these skills with other youth in our community. We want to have a sustainable life. I thank YTB for giving me the courage and to keep moving. Let's keep encouraging each other through the time banking. Happy International Time Banking Day.
All right, let's give a hand for Give a Hand Uganda, everybody. I'm very glad we got to see that video. All right, I'd like to introduce Mike Textrode coming up next. And Mike, I'm looking forward to our interview for the podcast next week.
Sure enough. Thank you very much, Mike. Happy to be with you all as we're celebrating this International Time Banking Day. I am here to share with you some of the background and work of the Coldernut Collaborative Time Bank out of Chicago, Illinois, in the U.S. A few things that I just want to talk about related to our work is, pardon me, just that the design thinking element. So really a key cornerstone of the strategy of Coldernut Collaborative is really about design thinking and iterative, prototyping. So just really building pilots in the city and trying to get those pilots to explore time banking, which provides a lot of learning both for the actual time bank, but also for the partner organizations that come alongside us. So the earliest origin points of this strategy within the Coldernut Collaborative started with my work originally with the Healthy Food Hub, where the Coldernut Collaborative was incubated. This was a project that was intended to connect farmers in Pembroke Township, which is a historically Black farming community outside of Chicago, with communities in the city of Chicago that were seeking to access fresh produce. And so inside of that project, we were trying to explore, is there a way that time banking could be used inside of that entity? That particular pilot broke down for a number of reasons. We were trying to do too many things at one time, but I say that as a sort of authentic learning in the sense that there are places where time banks are going to be more readily applied, and there are places where it might take more work to lift a time bank off the ground. And we should be very honest about those sorts of things. A second pilot that I'll talk about is one that we did with something called the Chicago Learning Exchange, which is a network of educators around the city of Chicago that do both science and adventure-based learning. And inside of there, we did something called a chronocurrency pilot. They have a monthly meeting of these educators, and they were trying to figure out how to get these educators to collaborate between the monthly meeting. And the chronocurrency pilot was a way to test time banking with those educators to see if there are ways to get them to share resources between the monthly meeting. And the most recent pilot that we're exploring now is with Urban Growers Collective, which is one of the largest urban farms in the city of Chicago. And they want to employ time banking as a way to give people greater access to their farming workshops by having them be able to bank their time doing other types of services around the organization and being able to use that time to pay for the workshops. So that's a pilot that's most recently developed. I'm excited that that's been cemented within the last week. And sort of the last thing that I'll maybe just kind of land on is just talking about the event that we hosted yesterday, which is the Shaping Change Facilitator Festival. We gathered over 60 change makers from around the city of Chicago, folks who are interested in cultivating communities of non-monetary exchange, including time banking, and also facilitating these types of spaces. And it was a very exciting event, and ultimately, I think it was a successful coordination of effort and people who want to be more involved in something like the Coldernut Collaborative going forward. So with that, I'll yield my time.
Thank you very much, Mike, and congratulations on all your hard work. That's phenomenal. So we are missing our next speaker, so we are going to move right over to Rebecca Cobb, and Rebecca has a slideshow that we are going to be presenting. So please, Rebecca, introduce yourself.
I believe Rebecca is not here, but Sarah had mentioned that this is the video that Rebecca wanted to share.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my apologies.
Thank you, Krista. Thank you.
You got it.
So let me reintroduce Sarah Bird.
Thank you. Krista, do you have the slides to show? Thank you.
This initiative is about harnessing the power of time banking to help communities prepare for and recover from disasters. It's about connecting people, building resilience, and strengthening support networks that can make a huge difference when a crisis strikes. Our goal is to integrate time banking into disaster preparedness and recovery in practical, meaningful ways. We've developed a framework for a disaster preparedness and recovery toolkit. Now we're working on the details to make sure it's accessible and useful for communities around the world. Once the toolkit is complete, we'll offer community and organizational training to ensure time banks are confident in putting these tools into action, and we'll work with our global time banking partners to share this resource widely. To support swift and effective responses in times of crisis, we intend to improve our digital platform. More development is needed to bring this to life. Finally, we'll build a dedicated team to ensure the toolkit is sustainable and stays responsive to community needs. This isn't something we can or should do alone. We're inviting the global time banking community to work with us. We need your local knowledge and experience to ensure the toolkit works well in different contexts. Once the toolkit is ready, we'd love you to make it your own and share it within your own networks and regions. We would like to work with you, our international counterparts, to embed this resource in your own communities and to support us in building the financial backing we need to deliver the initiative globally. In addition, we're aiming to build a network of national coordinators to support collaboration and resilience across borders. Our project is a response to the increasing number of emergencies, from extreme weather to social and economic crises. Communities that are well connected, organized, and equipped with practical skills are better able to withstand these challenges. Time banking has a unique role to play in building that resilience, strengthening social ties, unlocking hidden skills, and ensuring support networks are in place before disasters strike. By developing this toolkit and building a global response network, we can actively contribute to several key UN Sustainable Development Goals. Goal 1. No poverty. Crises often hit those with the fewest resources the hardest. Time banking's mutual support networks help reduce vulnerability by ensuring people have access to practical help, even when money is tight. Goal 3. Good health and well-being. Disasters can isolate people. Time banking strengthens social connections, reducing loneliness and improving mental well-being, both during and after a crisis. Goal 11. Sustainable cities and communities. Time banks can play a vital role in disaster response by coordinating local resources and volunteers, improving both urban and rural resilience. Goal 13. Climate action. As extreme weather events increase, time banking offers a way for communities to share skills and resources to prepare for and adapt to environmental challenges. Goal 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Time banking is rooted in cooperation and trust, strengthening social bonds, and giving communities the tools to organize and lead their own recovery efforts. This project isn't just about disaster response. It's about helping communities thrive in uncertain times. By working together, we can make a meaningful impact that goes far beyond emergencies. This is where you come in. Apart from the global coordinator cost, the following costs are based on UK delivery for 1 year and are shared as an example and starting point for potential global partners to begin to establish costs for their geographies. We know that every region's needs will be different. These figures are intended to give a sense of what's involved, not as fixed costs, but as a starting point to move forward from. This is an ambitious project, but one we believe can make a real difference. Time banks are built on trust, connection, and mutual support, all things that are vital in times of crisis. The international time banking community has an opportunity to create a global response network that helps time banks support their own communities and allows them to reach out and help others when disaster strikes. We hope you'll join us.
All right, thank you very much for that additional video, Sarah. And yeah, wow, this is an excellent initiative. Thank you. So next up, I wanted to introduce River Stevens. River, please come on in and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is River. I'm from Community Coin. And what we attempted to do was to create the easiest possible time banking platform. And one of the features is the CoinPurse app, which is a time credit management app. It's works kind of like Venmo or Venmo or Cash App, but it's just exchanging time credits instead of money, so that any time bank in the world is welcome to use CoinPurse as their time credit management app. And every time banker or time banking community in the world that uses CoinPurse can exchange time credits with one another easily right from their smartphone. And it's I think it's a really cool idea. And check out communitycoin.com or coinpurse.info. The URLs are here in my name under my face. And that's all I have.
All right, well, thank you very much for sharing that with us, River. I know we talked about it a bit on the podcast, and I just actually want to flesh it out a little bit more for people who might not have heard the episode, but I really like what went into the inspiration for creating that. You said one of the stalling points for your time banks had been that people were a little bit confused about how to work the platform. So you kind of got everybody's feedback and you created something that works for your group, and then things took off from there. So
Yeah, well, yeah. One of the feedback I was getting was that time banking platforms were cumbersome and difficult to navigate and use and apply in different use cases. And so I decided, well, let's make this as painfully simple as possible. So I whittled it down to a 3-step process. Number one, find people that you want to time bank with, and we're calling it time co-oping now. So find people that you want to time co-op with or time bank with, whether that be your church congregation, your neighborhood, the people in your apartment building, whomever. And then we decided, why don't we just leverage existing technology instead of having this offer and needs platform, this Craigslist style built-in software. So step 2 is coordinate your community, and we suggest do something like create a WhatsApp group. It works really well. If all the members of your community are in your WhatsApp group, then every time anybody needs anything, everybody's phone beeps. Every time they type in, hey, I need help doing this, everybody in your community is notified. Or, hey, I have a bunch of extra tomatoes. Everybody in your community is notified. And then in order to manage the time credits, we built a time credit management app.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very simple, like a Venmo, like if you send money to somebody, except it's sending time credits to somebody.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just got to jump back in and move on to the next. But thank you very much, River. Yeah, please check out communitycoin.com if you want to learn a little bit more. So we've got Julio next with the words of greeting. And this will be our kind of grand finale of the night, or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are. So Julio, please pop in and say hello.
Yes, good morning and good evening. In my case, I am in Spain. I am the president of the Ibero-American Association of Time Banks. We have, in 4 hours, we have a new connection with translation Spanish-English, no? It's a new opportunity, no, for our time banks there in America to hear you, no, in this case, no. And well, I have thank you for this meeting. I think it's very important for the movement, no, worldwide, no, this kind of meetings and the purpose too, no, the birthday of Edgar Kahn, no, the celebration, no, of this year, I think is the most important, no, here. Well, I have a slide show. I do it quickly, Mike. I promise you. Yeah, I think I can, not so directly. No, I think I do it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not alone. My friend and colleague Fernando is here. Fernando speak later than me in the slideshow. Okay, I begin. Okay, it's okay. You can see now.
It says you've started screen sharing mode, but I can't see anything yet. There we go. There it is.
It's okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, we speak about our projects there in Spain and Iberoamerica. No? We have a project Learn to Care, Aprender a Cuidar in Spanish. It's an Erasmus Plus project financed by the European Union. We have 4 partners, 4 countries. Like the vehicular language is German, and the objectives of this project is to provide training materials to volunteer organizations in healthcare and care sector using the following tools. Now, podcast training, how to create a podcast channel, training videos, 96 videos in 4 languages, and recommendation guides for civil institutions and organizations on new ways to reward volunteering. This is our first. We have monthly conferences. The name of these conferences are Time to Learn. This project is led by our delegation in Mexico. A conference is held each month on topics of general interest to Ibero-American Time Banks users, no, and invited experts in their respective fields, no. Topics, for example, digital fraud, human rights, artificial intelligence, and so on, no. We have an international time lab. Time lab is a laboratory about innovation in time banks, and we have different workshops, no, promoted by this network, no, Time Lab International. These are the workshops currently being held between time banks from different countries, with top-level speakers in their respective fields. No, the first is workshop market currency, market time. In this, sorry. In this lab, we'll explore what value is, how do we currently value products and services, what can time banks and social currencies contribute to this debate, and we'll promote the creation of innovative proposals in markets, in time markets and markets with local currencies. The second is collective planning workshop, using an ingenious circular calendar from our delegation in Argentina. And the third is Talking Books workshop, human library design workshop laboratory, to be held in different contexts and with different topics. And the fourth is workshop on capabilities for people with disabilities, based on the experience of time banks working with people with disabilities in Spain, no, and in Mexico too. We have a program, a radio program, to Orillas. In December, we stopped broadcasting our weekly radio show with more than 38 radio programs. And well, this program, with all this program recorded, we created our own podcast channel on Spotify with hundreds of subsequent auditions. No, this is finished. This is a finished program. We will soon be launching our new website of our association. This website will provide direct access to the international map of time banks created by our association, and which has become an international reference source for searching for time banks around the world. No? This year, we will continue our efforts to keep it as up to date as possible in collaboration with all of you. World Report in this year will be dedicated to the anniversary of time banking in the United States with various articles on this topic. This time we intend for the report to be thematic rather than country specific. To this end, we will ask for your collaboration in submitting articles on time banks topics. The translations, usually in Spanish, Portuguese, and English, will be expanded this year to include more languages such as French and Italian, and any other that are suggested to us. The presentation of this 2025 annual report will take place in November. Next May, the association will launch an international competition for best practices in time banks. The winners will appear for the first time in the 2025 report, as well as in subsequent editions. We have asked the International Journal of Community Currency Research to serve on the jury and publish an article of the winning initiative. We also intend to include the results of the competition in our global report, which we will present in November of this year. We now ask for the collaboration of all the organizations present today for this competition. And the first good practice for us is in Almería. Almería is a city in southern Spain, in Andalusia, run by the municipality with the Andalusian Health Service. Now, this is a very interesting project for us because such an agreement has never been reached here between a local public institution, such as a city council, a public service, such as a hospital, and a regional institution. The program has successfully completed its first years and renewed its agreement again. Loneliness. One of our main concerns is what we call soledad no deseada, unwanted loneliness in Spanish, not only for the elderly, but also for young people who are increasingly isolated by technology and an increasingly individualistic culture. In this sense, our association is an active part of the network named Soledades, with more than 60 organizations in Spain and now extending throughout Latin America. Along these lines, we regularly participate in fairs dedicated to seniors, no? Especially in Catalonia with the Fira Grand Fair in May. And Fernando, can you speak? Fernando?
Yes, sure.
Okay, when you want.
Nice to say hello to everyone. Thank you, Julio. Well, we are looking forward to a forthcoming visit by Christine Gray and Krista Wyatt to Sitges, Barcelona, and San Cugat del Vallès this coming week. We hope we can reach this memorandum of understanding. Unfortunately, we won't have Sarah Bird with us, but I think she'll be here in spirit. It's so important to get this international network, an alliance on time, getting rolling. I think, may I say one thing? We were talking about the Youth Time Bank. Jerome started with our friends from Kosovo and Ryan from Lusaka. At Sitges, we have established talent out of Africa and we bridge to Europe within our structure. We'll talk more about it tonight. And then another point, Julio, are we also talking about? Yes, we would like to mention that we cooperate with Time Youth Initiative that was born almost 5 years ago in Barcelona, among the cities of Europe. And for the first time, Time Youth Week will be celebrated in Latin America, in Bogota, with the help of the city of Bogota and the Women's Secretariat. We'll explain a little bit more tonight if you want to listen in. Julio, all yours.
Thank you, Fernando. Well, feliz cumpleaños. This is happy birthday. Happy birthday in Spanish. Many thanks and congratulations to our friends in the United States. On this anniversary, we do not want to forget the team that with Edgar Kahn spread the time banks all over the world. Especially we remember here in Spain, Ana Millares, who was spreading the time banks in our country with so much effort. Also among the Spanish-speaking population in the United States. As a good Cuban American that she was, our dearest memory to all of them. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julio. Thank you, Fernando.
All right, and Krista, I believe that is that. We are now
That concludes our call. We'll stay here for another 15 minutes just to chat. And then I just wanted to thank everyone who was here. And thank you. Happy birthday, Edgar. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining the call. Our next call will be at 3:30 Eastern Time. And we'll get more into what's going on in Spain too with that call. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.